Well, looks like the mulberries are done for the year. I can't believe all the deer and coyote tracks all over the place back here. Tons of them. There's some rabbit. No, those are turkey tracks there. Those are rabbit tracks over there. You can't really see on this camera. Man, I need to get a trail camera going. I had a trail camera. I caught a bobcat on it out here one day right here in this road, but the trail camera I had was just one I bought on Amazon, and it had like a 3-second delay. It wouldn't start taking video or pictures until 3 seconds after whatever it was triggered it, and in that amount of time whatever it was is long gone. Did I miss them? No, I almost missed them. These are my currant bushes, little blackberries. They're pretty good. They're a little bit tart, but they're pretty good. These bushes were loaded not too long ago. I was going to come out here and make a video, harvest a bunch of them, and make something out of them. I don't know what I was going to make, but I was going to make something. But work has just been so crazy busy lately. There's a nice big juicy one right there. These things are delicious. I ate quite a few of them this year. I just didn't have a chance to make a video of it. Hopefully, if things work out, I'll be able to make a video of some sandhill plums a little bit later in the season. Check it out, guys. There goes a buck. Got a pretty nice set of antlers on it. Just took off. It was right here in this thicket. And I think my camera's recording upside down. That's okay. I'll flip it over in post. Well, this is a super exciting discovery. I've got sandhill plums growing right out here on my property. I didn't realize these were sandhill plums. I didn't have any last year, but it was super dry. This year it's actually been a pretty good year. I don't know if any of these are ripe or not. That might be. Looks like it is. But yeah, we've had a really wet year this year. It's been a good year for growing stuff. But this is super exciting, guys. I am stoked right now. That is awesome. The only place I knew where there were sandhill plums growing was on the side of a dirt road in the middle of nowhere. There's some growing right along the edge of the road. And so that way you don't have to trespass to get them. But I'm going to see if this thing is ripe or not. Not quite. Almost. Here's one more right here. We'll see if this one's any better. Yeah, I don't think they're quite ripe. Probably another few weeks, or maybe 2 weeks at the most. Most of these aren't even close to ripe. But we'll try one more. And that one was better. The other one wasn't quite ripe. That one there was almost ripe. That is pretty exciting though. I am definitely stoked to know that I've got sandhill plums growing back here. So you're probably wondering, what's the purpose of this video? You didn't even do an intro. And that's because I completely forgot. So welcome back everybody. Silas here today. But no, actually what I'm doing is, today is the first day it dropped below 100. So in over a week now. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go out to the river, do a little bit of exploring. The river was flooded. I say flooded, it was up to 3.5 feet deep. That's the deepest it's been in years, but it's gone back down now. So I thought I would go out there, check it out, see if anything interesting washed up on the bank. The prickly pears are sure doing good. Bunches of fruit on them again this year, but we did that last year. We ate some of that prickly pear fruit, and the ones that grow here in Kansas just don't have a whole lot of meat compared to the skin and seeds inside. So probably won't do that again, but maybe we'll do eating the pads. Maybe we'll do a catch and cook on those. This area is clear full of them. They sure are good. There's still a handful on here. If I really wanted to, I can make a catch and cook video of these, do a pie or something like that. But I don't know. We'll find something else to do. Maybe next year when they're actually growing really thick, we'll come back. Until then, I'll just enjoy a few here and there. Here's another patch of sandhill plums. That's awesome, guys. I am so stoked to find this. This is incredible. All of this is sandhill plums all through here. Absolutely incredible. I was just wondering what in the world I'm going to do for sandhill plums this year if that one patch doesn't produce any, because last year it didn't produce any. But it's just been too dry. This year we got plenty of moisture. I got plenty growing right out here. It's going to be a good video whenever that happens. It's a really good year for the milkweed too. The monarchs ought to be happy. The last few years this stuff's been really hard to come by, but this year I've seen tons of it. And now I am no longer on my property. I am on state property, so it is public property here. That's the cool thing about the Arkansas River, which my property is right next to, is it's all public property as long as you're between the flood lines. And it just so happens that there's a levee system by my property, so basically anything between the levees is high flood mark, so it's all public property. There are some big deer tracks through here. I just saw the others. pretty good sized ones down there. This is all overgrown in here. This used to be a trail years and years ago, but nobody maintains it. And then we had some pretty severe storms earlier in the year that blew a bunch of tree limbs down. I'm also keeping my eyes out for mushrooms. I don't think they grow around here, but it has been a really wet year. But sometimes we're out in eastern Kansas right now anyway, they're finding lots of chanterelles. So I'm hoping maybe some grew here, although I've never seen them this far west. I'm kind of in the middle of Kansas, and I think those kind of only grow on the eastern side. I am going to be loaded with ticks by the time I get home tonight. This is pretty crazy through here. Whoops. There we go. Opens up a little bit more here. Man, look at all these tree limbs that fell. We had 2 storms that had 80 to 100 mile an hour winds. Looks like a whole tree fell right here. Honestly, I expected it to be a little bit worse. At least it fell that direction. There's a trail that used to go that way, but I'm going to go this way. I thought about clearing the trail back out. Problem is that other people don't know how to respect that type of stuff. And so if I make a trail for other people, they'll just come down here and litter all over my favorite spot. So I just like to keep it hard to get to. It's sad that people are like that, but it is what it is. And you may be wondering why I have my backpack. It's because there have been, lately anyway, a handful of mountain lion sightings in this area. And so I've got my good friend Mr. Glock with me, just in case. Kind of a funny story. Last winter, the guy asked me if I knew any good duck hunting spots, and I said, yeah, I've got a really good spot down by the river. I said, I'll show you how to get there. So I showed him how to get there, and he came back the next day before the sun came up, couldn't see where he was walking. And I told him that there's a big deep pond you got to watch out for, and he forgot and walked right into the pond. I don't know how deep it is, but there it is. I'm definitely gonna bring a fishing pole back down here one of these days. When the river's way up, this was underwater. Now I don't think the water got quite deep enough to refresh this pond with any new water. So I don't know if there's any fish in this hole or not, but he said he walked into it. Whew, that's windy. So like I say, I don't know how deep it is, but there's some tree limbs out there that I can't see the bottom of down in the water. So I'd say that hole's probably about 4 feet deep in the middle. So it's a pretty good hole. I see a lot of turtles. I see a fish just hit the surface over there. So definitely gonna bring my fishing pole back when it cools back down a little bit. We're in this heat wave right now, so I don't feel like sitting out here. And there's no shade on this pond really, but I bet you right now over there in that kind of shady edge over there, I bet you there's some catfish hiding in there just waiting to get caught. This thing is really hard to get to. It's taken me probably about 40 minutes, 30 or 40 minutes to get back here. If you were hiking with the fishing bullet, it would be even harder. But there's a chance. I was hoping the water would get a little bit deeper. If it got deeper when we had the flood going on. Oh, another fish just hit the surface. I bet you if there are any fish in there, I bet you they're starving. But I was really hoping the water would get deep enough, you know, to start flowing through here again and refresh this. But we'll see. It may be completely empty, who knows. But one thing about this pond is there's no human tracks around it, just animal tracks. And there's only one can all crumpled up over there, and it's been here for a million years. It's all sun faded, so I don't think anybody's been down here lately, at least. Guess we'll take the deer trail. This is what makes me nervous. I'm just looking down here in the bottom of this little gully, and it looks like it had a little bit of water flowing through it. Not much, but maybe enough to refresh that pond. Not enough to get any new fish in, but also not enough to get any old fish out. This would make a really good camping spot right here. Nice and flat and sandy and soft, right by the river. I don't mind camping at the junkyard, but I don't know if I'm quite brave enough to camp right here in the middle of the river. Waterways are what the mountain lions follow. And I know some of you are probably from areas that have mountain lions or grizzly bears or stuff like that, so it's no big deal to you, but I'm just a Kansas boy that we didn't really used to have to deal with that, so it kind of wigs me out a little bit. And there's the river. The only issue I'm seeing is there used to be a bank out there, but it looks like the water's up still just a little bit, and where I have to walk down, right down there, is underwater. So I'm not going to be able to go down here. I'm going to have to hunt around, see if there's some place I can go. I may not be able to get to the river because I don't want to go through the water and all these weeds. No luck on the river yet, but I found my fishing spot. Right here. Oh, there's minnows in there. And where there's minnows, there's usually bigger fish. And where there's bigger fish, there's even bigger fish. Yeah, it's clear full of minnows. I'm looking at it now, and it looks like this was flowing water through here. So evidently it was somewhat deep, not super deep, but it had enough to where water was actually moving through here. So I bet you it refreshed the life in this pond. And I bet you there's some good lunkers in there waiting to get caught. Definitely gonna have to bring a fishing pole back down here in a couple weeks or so when the weather cools back down. Well, you can't see it on the camera, but this is all full of water, so it looks like I'm not going to be able to make it to the river. That's kind of a bummer. But the water looks really nasty right now anyway. It's all brown, kind of gross looking. I mean, it's never been a clean river, but it looks really bad now. I was hoping there was a bank or something I could get to it, but the problem is it was down super low for so long that all this stuff grew in here. Didn't used to have to deal with this stuff here. I wasn't recording, but there's a huge frog right there. He just jumped down in the water. Put that guy on a hook and throw him out there. Find that big 25-pound catfish that's hiding out in the bottom of that hole. Yeah, it looks like there's only two good spots to fish in here. There's that bank down there and that bank down there. A guy can fish from here no problem, but if you caught anything big, you can't get it out because it's a straight drop straight down in there, and it gets pretty deep pretty quick. I can see about 1.5 to 2 feet down on that log going down into the water, and it's not anywhere close to the bottom. So guy might be, oh, there's a big old fish just swirled right there, man. Whoo-wee. Definitely gonna bring back a fishing pole. I'll have to make sure I bring the one with the heavy pound test on it, not the 10-pounder. If I was really brave, you could go noodling in this, but I'm nowhere near that brave. I knew I should have been recording. I just chucked a grasshopper out there, and when it landed in the water, something came up and went and grabbed it. Didn't look huge, looked like some sort of perch or something like that. Yep, definitely coming back here very soon. But right now, I've got to head out if I can get up this steep bank. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I may have struck out on the river idea, but I found lots of cool things. I found those sandhill plums. Got to eat some currant berries one last time before the year's over. And of course I found this fishing hole here. Of course I already knew about the fishing hole, but I didn't realize it was going to be that good of a spot. But now that I actually checked it out, it's going to be a good spot. I haven't been down here since winter, and in the winter it's hard to judge a spot. Back into the jungle we go. Whew, it's a lot cooler here in the shade. A lot cooler. Oh, I'm just going to take a break right here. Whew, yeah. Gotta stay hydrated. But if you take water bottles with you or anything else into the woods, don't throw it on the ground, please. Put it in your backpack, crumple it up, put it in your pocket, anything, but don't just leave it behind. Always boggles my mind when I'm out mushroom hunting or foraging or whatever, and I'll be in the middle of nowhere, and there'll be empty cans and bottles laying around. If you want future generations to be able to enjoy it, you gotta take care of it. All right, let's keep going. Vultures. Bunches of them. Check it out, guys. Indian blanket. These are such pretty flowers. We caught them at the very end of their life cycle, it looks like. Looks like they're just about done blooming. They're covered in butterflies and probably some moths and who knows what else. They say honeybees really like these things, and it makes a really unique tasting honey. They're really common further down south. You don't see them here in Kansas super often, but you do see them. Yeah, they're called Indian blanket. That's a pretty awesome find. You just never know what you're going to find when you're out on an adventure. Oh, there's another one. There's a bunch of it. There's a bunch here too. I've never really noticed it before, but I don't often come out here this time of year. Normally this time of year I don't do a whole lot of foraging, so today was kind of a fluke deal. But I'm definitely glad I got out and did it. I've been wanting to do more on the second channel, trying to navigate through all these prickly pears. But like I was saying earlier, I've just been so busy at work, and I don't like being that busy at work, but that's what pays the bills. If I got the same views on this channel that I got on the main channel, I would do a lot more of this for sure. Check these out. These are poisonous flower. You can't eat those, but they're really pretty. I forget what those are called. It's getting really warm. I can't remember. But I know you can't eat them. You shouldn't even pick them. Just leave them alone. But they are really pretty. But yeah, maybe someday I know this year my mushroom videos did a lot better than last year's mushroom videos, so maybe we're improving. Just like junkyard content is really niche, this type of content is kind of niche too. Not everybody cares about outdoors and foraging and exploring and that sort of stuff. A lot of people, when they think of outdoors, they just think of bugs and ticks and sunburn and all that stuff. But I really do want to do some more like junkyard camping type content. I've got some really good ideas in my head. I just haven't had time to put them into action yet, but soon, very soon. For example, I just picked this thing up at an auction. Actually, Skylar did, but I told Skylar to save it for me. How cool would it be to put a platform up on top of that? If a guy could box it in somehow with something, some mesh or something like that, keep the mosquitoes out. You could hang out in the bottom or up high. That'd make a cool camping spot, especially back here like this. You could sit out here and maybe get some night vision camera or something like that. And then you could sit up there and watch all the animals at night. That'd be really cool. And I've got that big white thing over there. Kind of looks like an igloo. This winter, I want to make one of those into an igloo. Flip it over on its base out here somewhere. That'd be kind of cool, I think. And then over yonder, I've got that chicken coop still on the other side of those trucks that I brought in, what, 2 years ago? I think almost, no, not that long, about a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago I brought that in. I want to make that into a little junkyard cabin. Lots of good ideas. Unfortunately, bill collectors don't accept good ideas. I don't know why. Looks like I need to mow over there again. I haven't mowed it a second time yet. Next year, I think eventually those thorn trees will quit growing. And then of course I've got another building up front that I want to make a little cabin out of. I'd love to just make a bunch of just cabin type things all over the place out here. And I still have the idea of taking some of these old station wagons and making camper trailers out of them and taking them to the lake. And then I want to make some junkyard, I don't know what the word for it is, but stuff that I found at the junkyard. Windy. Woo! Sorry about that. Big old gust of wind came through out of nowhere. But anyway, I've got a bunch of just stuff that I found out at the junkyard that would make really good cooking utensils or fire pits or things like that. I want to make some of that into things and use it, make some content out of that. Stuff like this old washing machine here has a stainless tub inside it. That would make a really cool fire pit. I've got probably about 15 things set aside like this that would make really, I think, interesting content. I only made one video in the junkyard cabin this year. That was cooking that steak in -20 or whatever it was that day. It's hard to believe it was that cold and snowing out here. And now it's so hot. This airplane here is sold, but this other body over here, the Cessna body or whatever this is, that's not sold. And I would love to make like a camper or something out of that. But that would be super hot this time of year. So that's something I'm gonna have to do in the fall. I don't even have to do anything fancy. I just gotta flip it over and put it on my little utility trailer and take it to the lake. How cool would it be to spend a day or two camping at the lake living in that thing? But I want to keep building on the junkyard compound out here. I still want to put something back here in these trees, some sort of cabin. I had a really cool idea I want to do with some combine cabs. I've got 3 of them now. I got the one there, got that all over there, and then I have another tractor cab up front. So I have enough ideas to keep me busy at the rate I go now, probably for the next 50 years. So hopefully I live a long time. No, the reason why I'm working so hard now, if you guys have been watching the main channel, you know I've been working at my dad's yard, is want to get that caught up really good. There's the building I was talking about that I bought a long time ago. I want to do something with that still. But anyway, I'm going to get that yard caught up. Then we have one more yard I want to pull into and help my dad get caught up there. And that way it just takes a lot of pressure off of him and therefore a lot of pressure off of me. And then hopefully by this winter, I'll be able to start doing this type of stuff on this channel way more often. That's my hope and my dream, because this is the sort of content that I really enjoy. I like the junkyard stuff and making those videos, but this is what I really enjoy. And with that, we are done with this video. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to hang out at the river for a little while, which I guess we technically kind of did, but not in the way that I thought we were going to. But it was still fun. We had an unexpected adventure, found some unexpected things. Found some really cool things, honestly. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. If nothing else, this video is for me once again. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there and find an adventure. Even if you don't know exactly what it is that you're gonna do, just go ahead and get out there and you'll figure it out as you go along. We'll see you on the next one.